How goes the splunking? I've kept things pristine here at home. With a bit more gold, we can improve the facilities even more. Time to get to work. Oh, you'll love it. How goes the splunking? For a tad bit more gold, I can add on another room for more storage space and furnishings that'll make an emperor drool. It'll be ready in no time. When we're done, you'll own the finest building in all the Hollowlands. Hail, adventure. I can't believe Edgar put the miners through that. He was always about taking the fight back to the competition, but I didn't think he meant to take their life. There's no excuse for it. Motus's business practices aside, he had no right. Thank you for righting his transgressions. For another bit of gold, I can clear out the next section of the mine. We'll have this place running at full capacity in no time.
Before I came here, I had never...
These lands are treacheries. If there's money to be made. A little more gold and we can open up the last section of... Well, I suppose the rocks aren't going... Steel yourself out there.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items or sell? If you need another trade, then come.
I have spent my years in Dalentarth learning to wear the shadows well.
Need an answer? Now come, fellow traveler. Ain't much left. Keep to the
treachery. Hey, boss! Do you need me to do any work on them? Just a little more gold, and this will be about all we can extend the mine. We've run out of room in the cavern. Great. We've pushed this mine as far as it'll go. It's been sound doing business with you. Now all you have to do is relax, sit back, and collect your money. I shall see you when I see you. We've expanded the facilities as much as we can, I'm afraid. But look at how far it's come. It's quite a sight, eh? Truly a marvel of modern architecture, if I do say so myself. Sorry, boss. We haven't yet sold off. Take care, my friend.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. You must be mistaken. I've tried to contact him ever since I fled Alistar, but he never replied. Until now. Octien. Of course. When all the facts are considered, the truth will emerge. Ah, I am a fool! Octien has sent you to search for me. To have us killed together. Those assassins are proof of this. The Well of Souls is his project. Once it was functioning, he no longer needed me. Not if he could salvage the well in Alistar with Ventrinio's help. Ventrinio de Cellini. We used to work together, in this lab, on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here, long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead, early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. Eventually, he was taken away. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. Not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octien in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive. I am Fomerus Hughes, Scholar of Vivification, Prime Circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desilini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Octien he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant. Ventrinio's notes reference some highly capable assistants that joined him in testing the well and collecting Prismia, but there's no mention of their identity. Whoever they are, they're clever, resourceful, and very dangerous. If we could find them, we might have a lead, or even a way into Alabastra. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. Ah, Odessa. The great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it. I knew Octien was more interested in my research than he was in my well-being, but I didn't expect him to send assassins. At least not so soon. Now that he has the well and Ventrinio, he'll have access to eternal life all for himself. And who knows what other magical protections he's collected over the decades. He thinks he's won, but we know his dirty little secrets. And believe it or not, that means we've got the real power. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octien. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. We cannot afford to waste any time. The longer we give Octien, the more time he has to cover his tracks.
Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus from frozen lands. Upon each hill the priestess sang, and closer to Erethel they came. The people walked in groups, the future houses of Rathir, planning the lives of gold and silver, music and laughter. Lush fields and streams Tyrion described to farmers, the first makers of the bread and food we eat today. The mages that awaited Lyria's touch now reap her power. Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus from frozen lands. Upon each hill the priestess sang, and closer to Erethel they came. The people walked in groups, the future houses of Rathir, planning the lives of gold and silver, music and laughter. Lush fields and streams Tyrion described to farmers, the first makers of the bread and food we eat today. The mages that awaited Lyria's touch now reap her power.
Dust out here.
What, you surely ask, is such a well-heeled Praetorian doing here among the dust and brambles? Removing the tarnish for my name and solving the Jotun problem. The old Ragnar has died, and his successor is stirring the embers of war. But he's too clever to openly provoke the Warsworn, so he's attacking gnomes instead. That will not stand. I have a plan to settle this, but it requires someone of both delicacy and grit. Priest, apothecary, and spiritual guide to Jotunkind. The old Ragnar ruled all the Jotun in these heights and the mountains beyond. If this upstart stirs all of them to war, things could go badly for everyone. The Warsworn have their place in my plan, but not yet. Coaxing the Ragnar to show his face requires a subtlety that our local Castellan lacks. Yes, I think you do. First, we must find some new and better enemies for the Jotun. Go into Tyrscotter Mine, southeast of here, and steal the clan totem from the kobolds that dwell there. Then return to me. Tyrscotter Mine cuts into the hills of southeastern Menethir. I don't know where in the mine the clan totem is kept, but it is there. Overlooked. Ignored. Once I've settled this Jotun problem, my Praetorian friends will be humming a different tune. I am, you see, ranked Decanus. That is above Auxiliary, where I serve my time, and beneath Centurion, which is where I belong. Grand to behold, but lousy with Jotun and spiders and gods know what else. Makes me think the Warsworn put their blasted keep here out of sheer bloody spite. Their keep is hard to miss. It sits on Menethir like an Etin on a pile of bones. There's a good deal to be said about them. None of it nice. You hear tales now and then of Jotun guards and Jotun soldiers. I'll believe that when I see it. Brutes! It seems the old Ragnar had some wisdom in that slab of a skull. Kept a shrewd balance between infighting and angering his neighbors. But now he's dead, and the new Ragnar fancies the warpath. But that won't be good for anyone. We'll never know if the mine collapsed because of the kobolds, or if the kobolds got in because of the collapse. Either way, it's theirs now. Tirskotta mine is full of the little filchers. If you ask me, they're worse than the Jotun. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death, and as for the Jotun, well, one thing at a time.
He only needed one name, the Carver, like the wind, or the lightning, or the dawn. With his presence, a new age began. The kings of the south stood. They were the lords of the desert sea.
Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. Damned kobolds is what. Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. I'd be grateful, but don't expect any wisdom or a fine-crafted gift. Hermits have little to give. I'll need spider sack ichor, fenrac from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those? Ah, some spider sack ichor. An old man who's had his fill of the world. It possesses a certain remarkable beauty that is hard to appreciate with a wounded leg. Before the gnomes opened up that damned mine, wasn't a single one in Menethir. Meddlers, that's what they are. Always think they know best, but they never do. Believe me. Off in the southeast among the hills, overrun now with those spear-hefting overgrown...
First, he made the river in the arc of the great snake-tail. When that grew tedious, he turned his attention to the cliffs, the dunes, the depths.
Money welcome.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Always looking...
Ah, you have the totem? Good. We've made some enemies, so now we must make the feeling mutual. Kill 3 Jotun chieftains known as the Ragnar's Chosen. Their deaths will enrage the Ragnar like nothing else. After killing each of the Chosen, plant one of these kobold daggers in his chest. That should do the trick. They'll be up among the Jotun on the heights, spreading their Ragnar's word. Remember, after you've killed each, plant a kobold dagger in his chest. That's essential. Look! It begins!
The carver made by the morning, what takes the cycles centuries to shape. He bored holes in the red marches, and chiseled the spine in the tier. He gouged the hollow lands, and then left it barren.
There was another named Own. This name was to be feared. The name is death, decay, and violence. A cold and fading moment. A mind not of misery in the few leaves of winter. A suit of armor beneath which lay a void. Where Issa's vision was of cultured landscapes, his was of the choking weeds. Own's reach devoured the land. The winter approached.
Here, you see, it all falls beautifully into place. The kobolds will come for their totem. And this new Ragnar will see a challenge that he cannot ignore, and a battle he'll think he can win. Of course, neither he nor any will survive it. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death. To a Jotun, it's no more than a banner. But a banner planted in their ground is a challenge, and Jotun are proud creatures. Well, there may be a victor for a moment or two, but in the end, I will be the only winner you will see. Meet me on the height above 2 paths. You wanted war? Well, you got it. Go on, tear each other apart. Wanted war? You got it! just as I planned. Nothing. Watch. If you wish to join in, wait for my word, please. My beautiful, beautiful plan. A sight to behold. A sight to behold. Go on, tear each other apart. You wanted war? Well, you've got it. You wanted war? Well, you've got it. Now, go! Go on! Tear each other apart!
Our work is done here. Our work is done here.
All have lost, but we have won thanks to my genius and your hard work. You have earned your reward. Have this. As for me, I have earned a trip to Odessa and, surely, Centurion rank. I've single-handedly squashed a Jotun warpath. Of course, that single hand was you, but why quibble? They'll have to grant me Centurion rank now, soon to be a memory. It's back to Odessa for me and my fine auxiliaries here. If you haven't already, you should visit our grand city. It's a sight to behold. About bloody time. Spider gland for the festering, fenrac for the pain, and stewgrist to keep my strength up. You've done me a good turn, stranger. I live a hermit's life, so have little to give. I hope you'll take this as thanks. You'll get nothing else. What a great and austere beauty it holds. A beauty best enjoyed alone. Once in a while, if you don't know, there's no use telling it.